Hey everyone, Steve G here for Chef Knives to Go with another quick look product review. And what we have this time is the Matsubara Awagami, our blue number 2 wavy face Bunka 175mm knife. Kind of reminds me of a wavy face, like a music artist or something. I don't know. My brain's weird sometimes. The steel on this is Awagami, our blue paper number 2, and it has got a stainless cladding on either side, so a 3-layer construction. So the cladding looks to me like it does come across the top of the spine. So the reactive part is going to be here where the cladding comes, gives way to the core steel. You can see that pretty easily right there, the delineation. This knife has some stiffness to it and some thickness and some heft. So it's kind of the style this maker on a lot of their knives. So again, if you want something a little beefy and with some mass to it, this might be a really interesting choice for you to look at. Weight and dimensions are going to vary a bit from knife to knife. This particular one is 168 grams or 5.9 ounces. The heat treat's typically around 62 Rockwell for that type of steel. And then handles, just your good basic oak with urushi or a burnt finish to it. Just kind of basic stick handle. Nothing fancy, but nicely finished. Kind of a nice warm look to it. Good tight glue up right here where the tang goes in, so that's nicely done. The edge length is pretty close to 175. I got about 174 or about 6.8-ish, 6.9 inches. The overall length about 320 millimeter or 12.6 inches, and spine thickness, these are traditionally pretty fat coming out of the handle, but then they thin out. So this one's about 3.7 millimeters, the back of the blade, and then I got about 2.7 halfway down. We don't get a lot of taper here, so it pretty much keeps most of that thickness. Get that corner, that turn there, and that reverse sword tip, that Bunka style tip. And then we do thin out pretty nicely near the tip. So we've got a fairly generous grind here down to that tip. So that should go through food quite nicely, but give you some food separation and release. There's your choil shot. So again, thin at the edge. So you've got some thickness for some food separation. You've got these pretty deeply hammered marks on it, and that's going to give you some food release as well. There won't be as much suction for things, especially ingredients that are a little wetter. So that might be a good combination. Again, the trade-off is it's a little thicker, so it's not going to just ghost through product. But these are tall blades traditionally, so 52.1 is the height on this one. So you can see there's a gentle curve and a little back sweep to the heel, to the chin of the knife back here. A little bit of a gentle sweep there. Pretty thin neck, so lots and lots and lots of space for your fingers for a pinch grip. Balance-wise, oak's a little heavier, so that's going to bring the balance point back a little bit to right about there. So pinch grip-wise, it's going to be just a little handle heavy. Let's see, this side, they put the kanji on the left on these, so let's get our beauty shot here. So you can see the hammering. I'm told these are hand hammered, at least on the page it says that. You've also got a hand engraved, a pretty deeply engraved kanji on there. You got some texture to it, kind of dances in the light a little bit in person, but nice job on that. Again, it's pretty deep on the engraving. Here's the left side of the blade. And then the top has some polish to it and some rounding. So this has got very good fit and finish on it. The top's been polished and rounded, the spine I should say, and then the choil into the neck here has been polished and rounded a bit. So out of the box, I'm going to give this a 7 to 8 out of 10. This is very, very sharp out of the box. It's got a nice, you can probably see that there, it's got a nice polish to the edge. It's a pretty nicely crafted edge as well. Quite sharp. 7 to 8 out of 10 on my scale means it's really, really sharp out of the box. Again, this is kind of a big, stiff blade with some mass to it. Let's see what kind of edge profile we've got on the cutting board. So it's got a very low tip in relation to the center line, which is kind of typical of this style of blade. pretty flat in the back, so you got a good, maybe half the knife has got pretty good flat spot for chopping. I'm not going to get real high on a rock here because I'm actually a little surprised, but I'm getting about right there. So this will rock over short stuff. Tip draws will be easy with this through product. Push-pull cuts, you know, glide cuts, things like that. Chopping towards the back will be nice. So this is a very interesting looking blade. It's taller than a lot of Bunka style, but that's this maker's kind of style. So if you're looking for something really interesting, definitely handcrafted, a lot of character. Don't see these in box stores. So this is the Matsubara Aogami Blue No. 2 Wavy Face Bunka 175mm knife from Chef Knives to Go.